Alright, yins guys, time for another video. This one, I'm gonna do this video focusing on doing the straddle. And I mentioned before in videos how to do a straddle, how you want to use rough concrete to intentionally get the heels of your boots stuck. Instead of, this is going to be like specifically how to do a straddle without using a stretching machine. But unlike the other videos, we're going to use this bench behind me to do it. That I believe, you can do it safer. Say you're just sitting on this bench right now. And I was also going to do a video about, how I would do in the poor man's yoga block. You can use this bench, and the only reason I don't make a video about that is because really I don't want anybody looking at my butt. You know what I mean? But, I'd maybe tie a shirt around my waist or something. I'll do that someday. Okay, so you know how I go like this, I've been telling you, right? But only difference is, say, when you're sitting on a bench, you can, better in the camera here, you could go onto the bench, you know what I'm saying? But then get a little over forward, you're using this bench to so you kind of feel more sure of yourself if you're like, using this bench like that, and you establish that you can kind of, give or take, can kind of go and then recover without no worries, you know what I'm saying? Like if you got that down, and say you're not even near as flexible like I'm doing right now, sometimes maybe you're just, instead of maybe even like this, you're like this or something like that. But say what you want to do, is maybe have your split like this, say this is as far as you can get. Just use that example, or just start that in a safe zone. Maybe you're only able to do this. So maybe your straddle sitting down might be like this, and say you have trouble like this and you're feeling it. What we were basically doing is, you'll be able to get a little wider and wider. And then this rough concrete, if you even want to go like this, work on this because you're stretching that leg, and do a whole bunch of this. Okay, so then unlike the other things I showed you in the videos, we're going to move a teeny bit forward, because instead of sitting on the bench, we're going to kind of want the bench to be behind us, right? And I'm going to have to launder these damn pants because it rained and wet out here. Now see how you're getting like this. Feet are getting stuck pretty good. Then you can just raise yourself back up if you have any trouble, you know what I mean? Like you're a little lower, you're going maybe waist high, your butt is maybe touching this bench, and then you're going like this, trying to stretch that out. Maybe you're not totally seated, maybe you don't want to commit to being totally seated. Maybe just do a push-up or something, just sit here like this for a while. Then work on moving forward, do a push-up any way you want it. Try to move forward, do a push-up, kind of get that calibrated, like that, and then like that, just kind of hold it there for a bit. Man, you be feeling that shit too, I'm telling you. And maybe like that, pull yourself up and recover. I mean, you got to just establish a little bit of time that you can be sure of yourself that, I can do it without this. I've done it before in videos. And then you can eventually, even though you don't got the straddle perfect in aerial view, that straddle ain't going to be perfect. You're going to be pretty deficient there, you know what I mean, too. But some people like to do that frog pose because, when you do this, like I tell you, do this to try to open up that hips. It works to a point. Then say I got these two knee pads, I'm trying to do that froggy pose, and see I got my boots kind of back there a little bit. Some people can get down pretty flat with that frog pose. You might want her to do a little bit of that. You notice you can put your feet back together, and you can kind of almost do a push-up and rock it a little bit too. Like let yourself sit that way for a while, but some of us, you can only stretch that out so much. For some reason, some of our hips are limited, but every little bit helps. But this straddle technique I'm showing you, you're kind of stretching out in the groin area a little more, Where that frog pose just ain't cut it. Some of us could do that frog pose forever, and you'll feel it, and it's not, just ain't doing it. You need something else. And if you don't got like a stretching machine, one of them fancy machines, you gotta kind of improvise, and it's more fun, But you can do it from a bench, or you can do it right from push-up position, but you're using the bench to help you. Say you get down, say about this far, and I keep most of my flexibility like this far, even though I didn't. Say I skip days without doing it, but I keep having to start over every day. See, I'm like this. But I use the bench, bring myself down, sit my ass down, watch myself. Ooh, ouch, ouch, each, ouch, ouch, each, ouch, ouch, each, ouch, ouch, each. And there I'm actually seated down. My feet ain't exactly perfect, but they're kind of pointed out this way, but they're kind of, locked, and they're not going anywhere. But I'm sitting right now, I'm feeling that, and you can just sit like this for a while, and you're feeling that shit, and then you go like this a little bit, sit here for a while. Sometimes that frog pose ain't doing enough for a lot of us. I mean, you can do that forever. Some of us really resistant in there, and I actually pull off the middle splits for the most part. But I'm kind of getting by. I'm bypassing some things, but that doesn't mean I'm not in pain doing so. Eventually, you can just change that foot position, but that toes are pointed kind of like this, but that doesn't matter. You know why? Because your heels are locked in, and you're feeling that in that muscles from your knee to your groin, and you just want to be careful that there ain't anything grinding, say, in the hips or the knees. Like, say, if you feel some pain in the knees, it ain't right. Just don't go out as far. You may have to do a little gradual. And, kind of try to do a little bit of this at a time. Crisscross. And you may have just a whole session of this. And then all you got to do is do this, and you're feeling it. But some of these people, say some of these girls, they can go way the hell. And a lot of us can't quite do that yet. You could do this. Say I could pull myself up with the bench, but then I could rock my way out of it. But I'll lift my ass up. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Like I said, there's not that shit in my videos. That shit is like for the diehard people, the yoga. We don't have that shit around here. A lot of us, it's either ouch, ouch, each, or we're actually going like a monkey, because that shit hurts. If you want to go ouch, or ouch, ouch, each like a monkey, it's totally okay, because you're expressing yourself, and that's the instant reaction of the reality of the painfulness that you might be experiencing if you want to go beyond the threshold of pain a little bit. So that shit doesn't work, If you want to do the mantra and just say ouch, ouch, each, and be silly, what the fuck's the difference, I mean, but anyway. All right, there you have it. I'll cut this video short there, You got the basic idea. I don't want to make such a long video. It takes longer to upload. The signal has been slower these days, sometimes because with this virus thing, I think everybody's on Wi-Fi and online. Some things might slow up a bit, but